How y'all doing, man? I hope you're having a wonderful day, evening, morning, whenever you're watching this video. If you're new, please be sure to leave a like and please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. Now today, I'll be doing a reaction slash review on Steve Lacy's demo tapes. A lot of you don't know this, but the very first video I ever recorded on this channel was Steve Lacy. It was Apollo 21, the very first one. Now you can't see it because as of right now it's unlisted. It's unlisted, privated, things like that. But if I ever do manage to hit 5,000 subscribers or 10,000 subscribers, if I'm ever blessed to reach that number, then I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all watch it, man. It's pretty bad, in my opinion. It's pretty bad, you know. But Steve Lacy is one of those artists that it just is multifaceted. He's extremely talented. Just all around, he's extremely talented as an artist. He's done a lot of production work. He's produced a lot for a lot of artists and has done a really good job. Feature wise, he's done an extremely good job. He featured with Tyler the Creator. He was a feature on Blood Orange's record. He's just done an extremely good job as a feature on the internet. Another really good job. So this guy, Steve Lacy, he's that dude, he's that dude. Overall, he's just that dude. To me, Steve Lacy really has the talent to be on a Frank Ocean level. He has the talent to be extremely mainstream, but have the same integrity as somebody who is an underground artist. If that makes any sense, I personally love this body of work. I know it's only 14 minutes long, but I really enjoy this project. I really enjoy this project overall. From front to back, I enjoy this project. I love this project. Just look, did y'all see the album cover? Is that velvet? Man, I really enjoyed this project. Front to back. I mostly enjoy this project. So, without further ado, let's get into it, man.
Understand if there's more to this. What if I got with you and turned out to be a total dick? Would you be happy about that? No. I want you want me.
So on that track, the only issue I have with that track is that it wasn't long enough. The track had some drums in it, had some really bouncy bass loops, some nice synths, some good vocal falsettos, but I think lyrically it was just too brief for me. Really, it was just too brief. It was really too brief. And y'all know how I feel about openers. Y'all know how I feel about openers. An opener has to set the mood. I have to know what I'm getting into. You have to give me an appetizer. You know what I'm saying? You have to give me something. You have to give me something. You have to give me something, But although lyrically the song is extremely brief and extremely minimal, I think it adds to the vibe of the track. With Steve fully showcasing his vocal range, because the guy can really sing. He's not one of those. Like, he can really sing. He's not one of those guys that's just gonna. He's not one of those singers like a Michael Jackson or like a Prince or nothing like that. But he can really sing. He can really, really sing. You know, he has a really good voice. And over this instrumental, it really brings it out, in my opinion. So we're gonna go ahead and go into one of my favorite tracks from Steve Lacy, which is called Ride, which is RYD. Let's get into it, man.
Speeding down the back street, I'm trying to get you in my backseat, girl. I want you to ride, baby, ride on me. Speeding down the back street, I'm trying to get you in my backseat, girl. I want you to ride. I was in the MOOD, then she said park my car down the back street. Speeding down the back street, I'm trying to get you in my backseat, girl. I want you to ride, baby, ride.
Yeah, Ride, you know, Ride is a very, very good track. Ride, it has two meanings. I'm pretty sure you can decipher that for yourself. You know what I mean? The song has really just beautiful, lush chord progressions. You know, like it has just a beautiful guitar loop. You know, vocally, Steve Lacy is really shining on this track. Vocally, it just sounds so serene. Like the track is just like, it's just a really good track. It's a really good track, you know? Really, really good track, really enjoyable, has a lot of replay value. And like I said, it's one of my favorite tracks from him. Lyrically, not much going on. But, like I said, it adds to the aesthetic. It adds to the song. You know, it adds to it. To me, it adds to it. So we're going to go ahead and get into the next song, which is called Dark Red. The funny thing is, if you haven't seen the videos for these two, okay, so this kind of funny because the name of the song is Ride, but in Dark Red, he ends up in the back of her trunk. So that's funny to me, but we're going to go ahead and get into the next track, which is called Dark Red. So without further ado, let's get into it, man.
And something bad is about to happen to me. I don't know what, but I feel it coming. Don't you give me up, please. Don't give up on me. I belong with you, only you, baby.
So Dark Red is, I think Dark Red was one of the lead singles for this project. Dark Red was probably the biggest song on this project. Now, I don't think Dark Red is the best song in this project. I think Ride is the best song on this project. One of Steve Lacy's best songs. However, Dark Red is still an extremely good song for good reason. Dark Red is one of the only ballads on this record that has a traditional verse and chorus. A lot of the other tracks are purely chorus, you know, or the verse is extremely short, you know, but that adds to the aesthetic of this project, which is being a vibe, you know. And the other thing it fits is this is a demo tape. It's a demo tape. Like, apparently Steve Lacy said that these were just, I think he said these were just a collection of songs. Like, this project wasn't even a mixtape. It wasn't even a mixtape. It was just a couple of songs put together that are cohesive, all have a certain aesthetic about them. So yeah, I mean, but with this song in particular, it's more traditional in having a traditional verse, a traditional chorus, follows that, it has some really good chords. Really good chords. You see, I like chords. I love me some chords, man. I love me some chords, man. I love me some chords. So, Dark Red, another really, really, really good track. So, we're going to go ahead and transition into the next song, which is called Things. Let's get into it, man.
Girl, we can do all the things you want to do. Baby girl, we can do all the things you want to do. Things you want to do. Baby, we can do whatever you wanna. Call the shots, girl, you can do what you wanna. I mean, I got some shit.
Things featured a bass guitar, and of these songs, it's probably the most simplistic out of all of them. It's probably the most simplistic out of all of them. And I mean, there's just really not much going on in this track. I kind of usually, whenever I listen to this album, I kind of skip over this. I'm not gonna lie, I just skip over it. It's a good song, but the replay value for me isn't really there because there's not much going on in the mix. There's not much going on with his voice, So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the next track, which is called Hater Loving. Let's get into it, man.
I love you, I hate you. Just as much as I love you, I hate you. Just as much as I love you, I hate you. Just as much as I love you, I hate you. Just as much as I love you, I hate you. Just as much as I love you, I hate you. Just as much as I love you, I hate you.
Now, Hater Loving is probably my least favorite song on this project. I think the mix is just all over the place. I think the instrumental is just all over the place. I think Steve Lacy's voice is extremely just just lazy, and it just sounds very, I don't know, it just doesn't have a lot of energy to it. I just don't really care for the vibe on this track at all. And I think as far as replay, I always skip this track. Things and Hater Loving, I skip every single time. But this project is still a very, very good project, and it's still one of my favorite projects that has come out in recent memory. So I'm going to go ahead and transition to the last song on this project, which is called Some. Let's get into it.
Can I have some of your girl, I
Some is one of my favorite tracks on here. Some has beautiful chords, some has beautiful structure, some vocally has some great vocals, great dynamic range from Steve Lacy, great mixing overall. Just a really good song, really good song you can vibe to. A really, really good song. Replay value is really good for me personally. It's always in rotation, always on a playlist. Really good song. But Steve Lacy's demo tapes was an extremely good project. It still is an extremely good project. 3 years later, it's still an extremely good project. My issue with Apollo 21, however, even going back to it now, I feel like it was a little bit too quirky. I think if Steve Lacy could get into this sound and replicate this somehow, obviously refine this sound, make this sound better, from the likes of Ride, from the likes of Looks, from the likes of Dark Red, and some, if he can refine that and make the track list maybe 14 tracks of songs like this, and then mix it up, have some variety in it, of course, but make these types of songs, I'll be perfectly happy with that. Perfectly happy with that. Perfectly happy with that. If the songs on whatever project he's about to put out or will put out in the future, if the songs are like the album cover, like the velvet, the textures, the many textures, and I think the cover really embodies these songs. Because all these songs have a lot of texture to them. Even the ones I didn't like, they had a lot of texture to them. Like, if you like these tracks, I actually wouldn't be mad at you. Hater Loving and Things, I wouldn't be mad if you enjoyed those tracks. Because although I didn't enjoy them, they had a lot of things going on. I just can't get into that. I prefer pretty production, beautiful production, pretty chords, things like that. So yeah, tell me what you think about this in the comment section below. Leave a like if you like, subscribe if you liked, hit the bell for post notifications. I have some videos around my head that I would like for you to check out and get into. Tell your auntie about me if you do nothing else. So, Steve Lacy, FAYGOS. Till next time, man.